3, 2, 1. Ribs, Lama style. To start this rib journey, we need to flash back to yesterday morning. I have 3 slabs of baby backs here that I'll be cooking tomorrow. First thing we want to do is cut off any excess fat. I always trim off the diaphragm. I really don't like the way that muscle tastes. This is always a bone of contention for people. The silver skin, do you take it off? Do you leave it on? I prefer to take it off for the simple reason the silver skin is a non-permeable membrane that doesn't render when you cook it. So smoke's not going to get through it, your rub's not going to get through it. It will get crusty and you can eat it. It doesn't taste like anything, but I just prefer to take it off. The easiest way to take it off, use a paper towel, grab a corner, and peel like you're pulling off a sticker. The next thing I'm going to do is cut these ribs in half. Because of the size of my smoker and the square racks, I can't fit a long slab on each rack. I have to have them, and then I can do a slab a rack. Next is the rub. And I'm not going to tell you what kind of rubs to use. They're a personal preference. And I would suggest experimenting with different rubs until you find one that you really like. I'm experimenting today with a Southwest rub that has some mustard, some salt, and some chili flakes in it. It might be a unique flavor. We'll see how it turns out. But it's always fun to experiment. And I encourage that. There's never a right way to cook anything. Just personal preferences. And all menus are just roadmaps. You may want to take a side road, but as long as you get to the same destination and you enjoyed the ride, go for it. After the rub, we're going to wrap these really airtight in saran wrap and throw them in the fridge for at least 24 hours. All right, it's about 6.5 hours to dinner time tonight. The ribs have been in the fridge all day yesterday and overnight. I'm going to take them out now and just stick them on the kitchen counter just to start getting them up to room temperature. You never want to throw an ice cold rib into your smoker. Now it's time to preheat the smoker. First, I'm going to fill the drip pan with apple cider vinegar. I always turn my smoker up all the way to its highest setting, which on this Masterbuilt is 275. And the reason I do this is when you load the ribs up the first time, the door is going to be open for a long time, and you're going to lose a lot of that heat. So if you heat it up well beyond your cooking temperature, opening that door for an extended period of time, you're not going to lose enough heat. You're not going to have to try and build back up to your cooking temperature. I'm also going to start the smoke going by adding the wood chips. Today I'm using maple. Okay, the ribs have been out of the fridge for a half hour. The smoker is up to temperature. We've got a good smokestack going. Now it's time to get the ribs out of that saran wrap and get them in the smoker. Now that the ribs are in, it's 3 hours of smoke at 220 degrees. This smoker needs the wood chips changed around every 30 to 40 minutes, so that's what I'll do for the next 3 hours. And now we're at the 2 in our 3-2-1 ribs. 2 hours wrapped in foil. Most people during this stage will spritz their ribs down with apple cider. I do something a little different. Softened butter mixed with Robert Rothschild's roasted pineapple and habanero. I actually tried this as an experiment after getting a tip from a friend who's an award-winning barbecue guy, and he said habanero butter. I had this sitting around. You can get it at Costco every now and then or order it online. So this is what I grabbed and this is what I tried. This mixed with some softened butter. Just slather them all over the ribs. Wrap them in the foil and let them go for 2 hours. So now the ribs are back in. It's 2 hours in the foil. You don't have to worry about adding any more smoke. We're kind of done with the smoking phase. So now you can do whatever you want. All right, let's get these ribs out of the foil. So now it's time for the finishing stage. There's two ways to do this. You can just put the ribs back in for the last hour and you'll get that nice char, that nice bark on the outside of your ribs. Or you can do them competition style, which is something I really enjoy doing, which is slathering them with a layer of your favorite barbecue sauce. That way the sugar in the sauce caramelizes, forms a nice crust on top. You still get the bark on the bottom, and it's just the way I prefer my ribs. I know what you're thinking right now. Oh no, is he really putting the baked beans underneath all the ribs on the bottom shelf? He's gonna get rib drippings and barbecue sauce in his baked beans. Yeah. Now that the ribs are back in, we're getting close to the finish line. No more smoke to be added again, so now we have another hour to kill. I prefer to do it this way. And they are done. Let's take a look. Pair them with some of my favorite barbecue sides, and you've got a treat. I hope you enjoyed this departure from my typical bike riding videos, and I hope this motivates you to make some tasty barbecue for friends and family. Until next time, keep smoking.